Hello, and welcome back to another reading of the White Album 2 light novel series. We are currently reading Volume 1. Continuing on from last week, Haruki finally came clean about his staying over at Kazusa's house, which honestly wouldn't have been a big deal had he not kept it a secret for so long with Kazusa. But they did. Setsuna found out on her own, and it caused a lot of drama. Now he's calling to apologize, and Setsuna is telling him about her past. So let's learn a little bit more about Setsuna. When I was in middle school, I got along with everyone. I had tons of friends, people I loved and cared about. I was super clingy, really kind of annoying. I didn't put on any kind of act. Really? I mean, that's not that surprising. She had no need to put on any act back then. We stopped at shops and things on the way home every day. Spent every holiday hanging out. Got together and had sleepovers like yesterday. I was always happy. I loved all of them. But as close as I got to them, the tiniest little thing could make them leave me suddenly. What? I really loved them. They were my friends. Ogiso. She spoke haltingly, as though she didn't want to say any of this, but she continued nevertheless. I mean, it's not that she doesn't want to say it, it's just that bringing it up brings back a bunch of bad memories, and you don't really want to be saying that. You don't really want to dredge up all these memories, but sometimes it's important. A group of 5 friends formed in their first year, constantly together. Autumn of 9th grade. After a summer vacation spent running around all over the place as a group, the captain of the basketball team, wildly popular with all of the girls, had asked Ogiso out. But the leader of that 5-girl group had always had unrequited feelings for this boy. So, of course, Ogiso turned him down. But even that was something the girl in question found unforgivable. That's so stupid and so cruel. It's very middle school-like. But a guy that you like has a crush on someone else, so you just kick her out of the friend group, even though she turned him down? It's very stupid. After that day, Ogiso lost her 4 friends. Over something that hadn't even remotely been her fault. No matter what she said, how much she apologized, she was never able to repair that relationship. They never did anything to Ogiso, just ignored her completely. The friends that she had laughed with day after day. Even when autumn turned to winter, when the new year began, on graduation day. That's So when I got to high school, I changed the way I interacted with people. As long as I didn't get involved too deeply with anyone and kept that distance, I wouldn't have to feel that way again. So that was why. The Miss Hojo High thing was just a side effect. Of course, I was lonely, having to play this fake version of myself, but I didn't want to hurt again, so I made myself get used to it. Before long, that was just my everyday life, and it gradually stopped bothering me. A reproachful note came into Ogiso's voice. I mean, I don't think it ever stopped bothering her. I would strongly disagree with that. I think she got used to it. It's kind of like how you can get used to being depressed and thinking that's normal, but it never stops hurting you. You just get used to it. This is your fault for finding me and doing what you did. What? Ooh, now she's getting a little bit angry. Not telling anyone after you found out about my part-time job. Pretending you hadn't noticed me working, even when you invited me to join the club. Maybe to you, there wasn't any need to bring it up, but for me, it meant you kept my secret. I was so happy about that. It really hadn't been a big deal at all. Even so, Ogiso had felt this way the whole time. And this person praised my singing, invited me to be a part of a group, to work together on something, brought me this concert as a goal, brought me new friends. So, well, I remembered. I regained the version of myself that I had been back when I really enjoyed life. I had been so close to forgetting all about it, and you. Ogiso. Oh man, this poor girl. It's true though. Why? Friends shouldn't lie to friends. Friends shouldn't have kept secrets like that from friends. It's not okay. It's really just not okay. I never thought that a simple whim on my part would have such a massive impact on Ogiso. I felt guilty, but there was also a tiny bit of some other feeling. Now I've gone and told you all of that too. Sorry for dragging it out of you, but thanks for telling me. And now you're thanking me? Her voice was dry, but I could tell she was smiling. I don't know what I want. I still don't know myself very well. I like both you and Toma-san a lot. I should be happy that the two of you are spending time together, since I'm a part of your group too. But something about me not being there, something about it not being the three of us, it hadn't been the three of us. Absolutely, it hadn't been the three of you. And it's not like you guys went out for ice cream or went out to have a cup of ramen. You were staying over at her house for days at a time and keeping it a secret on purpose. That's different. We were all supposed to be a group, but two of us were rehearsing secretly, staying overnight secretly. In other words, it was 2 and 1. Thinking from Ogiso's point of view, it could only be a retracing of the painful experience she had had before. Hey, is it midnight yet? Midnight? No, it's 10. Okay, 2 hours left. Remember how I said it'd be better tomorrow? Yeah. Well, Setsuna's saying she's gonna be better tomorrow. Sorry for blabbering on about all of that. I'll be completely normal when we see each other tomorrow. This burdensome version of me, I'm putting an end to it today, so... Hang on. You don't have to put an end to anything. Huh? You don't need to end it. You're good exactly as you are. Burdensome, ugly, whatever. In exchange, I want you to stay with us just like you have been. There was no lie in what I said. That's the thing. When someone's crying, when someone's being serious like Setsuna is right now, and they say, oh, just forget about it. Just forget it. It's fine. I'll be better. No, because it's still a big part of you. This is just the sad part of you or the mad part of you. They're all part of someone. You have to accept all of those parts of them if you want to accept them as they are. I've really enjoyed being with you, Ogiso. If you weren't here, none of this would have gone anywhere. I want us to keep... No. Going together... Huh? Ogiso? I don't want this, Kitara-kun. I don't want to be alone anymore. I want to be with my friends forever, but I can't be shut out of the group anymore. I can't stand it. Her voice was fragile, weak, but making its appeal from the bottom of her heart. I don't want it. I'm scared. I start thinking that you and Toma-san might leave me someday, and I get so anxious I can't move. This is why I can't have friends. Hang on, Ogiso. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kitara-kun. At that moment, I took a deep breath. I will never, ever leave you, Ogiso. Did you hang up? hang up. I'm still here. I am. What an awkward thing to say. And what a deep declaration that is. And this is something that should definitely be held on to in your mind because it comes up later on. This is a very, very important thing that Haruki just said. He'll never, ever leave Ogiso. Even like in real life, if you had said that to someone, that is such a deep, powerful thing. Even just between friends, that is incredible. Ogiso's voice was flustered. Come to think of it, there hadn't been a hang-up sound anyway. What did you mean by that just now? Well, wait, Ogiso, you're suddenly very... Just explain it. Don't keep repeating yourself. Okay. Ogiso's voice suddenly had a good deal of energy, as though she were angry or in a hurry. Well, I mean, from now on, I'm never going to shut you out of the group. Until you get tired of me and leave on your own, I'm not going to leave you. I promise. Ogiso seemed to be thinking for a moment. Really? Really? Even after the show, after we graduate, I'm going to be with you until you get sick of me. It really sounds like a love declaration. Knowing Haruki, like, that's definitely not what he means, but it does sound like it. You really, really mean that? Yes, I swear it. I'm going to believe you. If this is a lie, I'm never going to recover, okay? It's all right. I'm never going to let you feel that way again. Kitahara-kun. So, achoo! I sneezed. Very smooth. Haruki wouldn't be Haruki if he wasn't super clumsy with everything he does. Wow, that startled me. Are you okay, Kitahara-kun? Sorry, Ogiso, I'm just a little cold out. Huh? I'm just a little cold out? Should be it's just a little cold out. By the time I caught myself, it was too late. Kitahara-kun, are you not at home? I am. My heater's just on the fritz. If you're lying, I'll cry. Oh, for crying out loud. Sorry, I'm actually... Oh, a really nice picture of Setsuna here. The lines are so thick for the artwork in the book. It just looks really cute. It's very well stylized. Kitahara-kun! Ogiso came rushing out, her expression completely different now, and shouted when she saw me. Hey there. Don't give me that! Why? Why are you in front of my house? Sorry, I know it's kind of stalkerish. That's not what I mean. It's cold out. Why? Yes, I was currently on the street running past the Ogiso house. Jeez, Haruki. It's admirable that he really wanted her to listen and that he's there. But if she hadn't picked up the phone, imagine how creepy that seems. Just standing in front of someone's house, calling them over and over for hours. That's so creepy. You've been talking to me from here the whole... Wait. Kitahara-kun, how long have you been here? Oh, I just got here. Kitahara-kun! For about 2 hours. Since the first time I called you. You... After Ogiso and I parted ways, I had called Toma, then spent some time thinking about what to do. And ultimately, I wound up here. He just can't go a sentence without lying to her. Even directly after he's like, I won't lie to you. That's 2 lies already in the past 60 seconds. Why would you... I thought this was the only place. When I thought about how you were feeling as you went home, how I made you feel, I decided that if I didn't at least do this much, then I had no right to apologize to you. Of course, if someone had thought to report me as a suspicious person, it all would have been over. Wouldn't that be embarrassing? Then she would look out the window, seeing the police. But you could catch a cold. The show is next week. How can you... Well, Ogiso's hand approached my own ungloved hand and lightly wrapped around it. I could feel the gentle warmth coming through each of her slim, pale fingers. Wait, you're so cold. Ogiso? I was glad for the warmth, but even though there was no one around to see, having someone hold my hand in the middle of the street was extremely embarrassing. I'm sorry. If I just picked up sooner, you wouldn't have... Huh? No, this isn't your fault at all. I just decided to do it. But it's okay. I'm just glad you picked up. I smiled at Ogiso, who suddenly looked as though she were about to cry. You kept your phone turned on. That much is enough. Oh, I'm hoping you might let me finish what I was saying before, if that's okay. Huh? Tomorrow, I want you to keep working with me, as a dear friend, as a part of this group. Please. I mean, without Ogiso, the show is off. There's no way they can recover from that hit, so that's pretty important to our story here. Kitahara-kun. She continued to hold my hand. I'm a burden, you know. I know. Come with us anyway. Maybe even more of a burden than Toma-san. Is that really what you think of Toma? Don't worry. I don't care how much of a burden you are. I won't leave you. How about just saying she's not a burden, because she's literally not. Don't say I don't care how much. Just say she's not. I didn't want Ogiso, this amazing girl, to be hurt anymore. All right. Tomorrow, let's keep working together. Ogiso finally gave me the smile I knew so well. Ogiso. I started to pump my fist, but couldn't. Why would you literally fist pump? That's so embarrassing. Someone smiles at you and you're like, yes, yes, yes. Just do that mentally. Miss Ogiso, how long are you planning to hold my hand? Oh, also, I meant what I said. You can tell me about absolutely anything that's bothering you. Of course, it's fine if you don't want to, but I'll do anything I can. Huh? Anything? Well, I know I might not be able to be that useful. Ogiso? For some reason, Ogiso's face had suddenly turned serious. You said you would do anything you could. Yeah? What was this feeling in the air? What was she going to make me do? Then, I want you to call me Setsuna. For a second, I didn't register what she had said. Huh? What? That's so cute. It seems like such a simple thing, but as I might have mentioned before in this read-through, calling someone by their first name is extremely personal, and it denotes a big feeling of closeness. So every time Takuya is calling her Setsuna-chan, that's why he gets the look. Because she didn't give him permission to call her Setsuna, and he's really overstepping his bounds. So it's a big deal for Haruki, who's only called her Ogiso thus far. That should be easy, right? No, hang on. Forgetting about whether I can or can't do it. Why? This was the last thing I had expected her to ask of me, and I was completely taken aback. Well, up until middle school, everyone, boys and girls, called me that. I want my friends to call me that. I couldn't really come up with anything to refute that. That includes tomorrow, too. Even when we're at school. What? We're friends, aren't we? That's evil. Please don't look at me like that. You'll say it, won't you? Oh, she's definitely playing up those puppy dog eyes. But her saying it at school is funny too, because the people who are at school are going to realize something is going on between the two, because now it's gotten a lot more personal, and he's referring to her on a much more personal basis. I declared that I wouldn't turn my back on Ogiso. I had asked her to stick with us. I had to say it. This is fine. Calm down. I call Io by name all the time. Not that that compares with this, even remotely. Well, okay then. I'm going to say it. Yes? Setsuna. Properly. Setsuna. Good. As she grinned at me, her hand gripped mine just a little tighter. I may have been red in the face. It's such a cute trope. It's used in anime and games all the time, but it still makes me smile every time. It's really well done. Well, I'd better head home then. See you tomorrow. Wait, you're so cold out here. I'll get you something from the house. Actually, you should come in. It's midnight. You don't invite someone into your family home at midnight. Now calm down, Ogiso. It's late. I don't want to... Who? Calm down, Setsuna. Through a delicate bit of negotiation, I managed to get out of intruding in the Ogiso house. If I were to see her parents now, I might collapse. From nerves. All right. Here's a disposable pocket heater and some hot tea in a thermos. Everything was handed to me in a plastic bag. Oh, no, I can't take all of this. I could just buy something at the corner store. Don't you dare. Will you please acknowledge your importance to the Light Music Club? You can just give the thermos back to me later. Oh, and this. What? My hands were gently slipped into a pair of light blue mittens. They're mine, so they might be a little small, but I'll let you borrow them. Mittens? Hers? What? Whoa, this was massively embarrassing. What a little high school boy. Embarrassed about wearing a girl's mittens? Is he serious? Hey, I don't need... Quiet. It's cold out. Now, make sure you return them in good condition. Suddenly, I felt as though I were under a good deal more pressure than before. Well, I'd done what I meant to do, so it was time to go home. All right, see you tomorrow, See you tomorrow, Setsuna. Yes, see you tomorrow, Haruki-kun. Aww. I started to walk away, then froze. What did you just say? I said, Haruki-kun. Oh, but it wouldn't be right if I was the only one being called by my first name. And, I call Io, so cute. Now they're on a first name basis mutually. If Haruki thought the stares from other people at school were bad then, just wait until now. She looked up at me from beneath her eyelashes in a way that ought to be considered foul play. Anyone here who objects? I couldn't exactly raise my hand, my mitten-clad hand. All right, you're Haruki-kun then. Whatever you want. I was suddenly anxious. Had I rushed something? You're Haruki-kun, and I am... Setsuna-san. Very good. And Setsuna, smiling brightly, leaned in close to whisper in my ear, even though there was no one around. From now on, forever. Good night. See you tomorrow. It's so embarrassing. It's embarrassing to me. Why would you lean in and whisper in his ear like that? My God. God only knows what look I had on my face as I watched her trot away back into her house. There beneath the starry sky, the mittens kept my hands faintly warm. And then to finish this chapter, we have Kazusa's piece. God. He and she had sent her messages within roughly the same time window. Even the contents of the messages were similar, and she slumped her shoulders and sighed. Why did they both have to be such a nuisance? Even as she sighed, there was some sense of relief mixed into it. Right. She left her phone on the floor of the basement, pulling a clear file out of her bag and removing the single sheet of loose leaf it held. Takaya had slipped it to her, just in case she had the time. Okay, let's see. As she ran her eyes over the paper, Kazusa suddenly burst out laughing. He had come up with this? Doesn't seem like him, or... She kept reading, chuckling, and once she reached the final line, she stretched out her arms, worn out from practicing. She was sleepy. The fatigue was even greater after supervising the other two's rehearsal, on top of her own. Not that it would show in her face. Still, it was a comfortable sort of fatigue. It had been so long that she had forgotten. Or maybe she had never before experienced the fulfillment that she felt in those 20 minutes. Oh, I'm surprised Kazusa's still awake, actually, because it must be getting close to midnight now. And she's been practicing so many hours a day. When had this turned into something fun for her? Suddenly, she was eager to play as a band at the school festival of all things. Well, I guess I'm not complaining, Kazusa muttered self-deprecatingly to herself. The sense of racing with someone toward a shared goal was also completely new. It seemed foolish, but it wasn't bad. Yeah, because Kazusa's never had the close friends to do things with. So this is the first time she's really collaborating on something. And that meant all the more that there was no time for standing around. She had passed out after the other two left, until their messages woke her up, but no one could possibly call that a sufficient amount of sleep. Oh yeah, so she's only slept a few short hours then. Even so, she couldn't keep sleeping. This gonna work in time? She asked herself. But she already knew the answer. Of course. She would make it work in time. She would bring it into shape to make this show the best it could be, to make his wish come true. Aww, she's working so hard for him. That's so sweet. So, that is the end of this chapter. Next week, we're going to pick up with WA2 Light Novel Volume 1, Session 16. So, thank you so much for being here with me on this episode of the Light Novel Reading from White Album 2, and I'll be with you with the next chapter shortly. So until then, hope you take care. See ya!